All right, guys. Coach has joined us now. We'll let him talk about the things that have transpired this week, and then we'll take questions. Hey, Coach, you got to unmute yourself.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
Obviously a little different schedule this week. Would have been in Wichita playing yesterday, but guys, we've been practicing. We'll practice again. We'll walk through some stuff tonight. We'll practice again tomorrow morning, and then we'll head onto New Orleans to play Tulane on Saturday afternoon. Guys, spirit's been pretty good. Obviously, like everybody else, there's always an uncertainty about what's going on and the schedule. But for the most part, the guys have been very adaptable, and we'll be prepared and ready to play Tulane Saturday afternoon.
Coach, I missed the very first second of this. You may have mentioned it, but as far as numbers and availability for Saturday, can you update us on that?
Well, we've got a number of guys available, and we're going to go down. We've got more than enough by the league rules to go down there, and I feel pretty good about the numbers we have. I mean, we've been fortunate all year. Haven't had a lot of upticks, and in one regard, we were sort of fortunate that it was during the break, or else we possibly could have had more guys out.
Coach, Tulane, they had to postpone or cancel their game last night. Have you got any info there? Is that a concern at all?
We've got, obviously through the league office and some of the people we've talked, we got a pretty good idea of what's gone on, and feel, as of right now, we feel very comfortable.
Coach, what's the situation, with yourself and the coaching staff? Have you guys been caught up in the contact tracing at this point?
Well, we've been able to practice. I mean, we've got more than enough guys practicing. We're ready to, we'll go again. Like I said, we'll walk through some stuff this afternoon. We'll walk through some stuff and practice tomorrow morning. Then we'll all board up and leave on tomorrow afternoon.
Coach, as far as we talked to Mike Oresco Tuesday, I believe, and he even expressed that the 20 games, being able to get all of those in this season is going to be difficult. You talked about this at times before, but I mean, getting that amount of games in, I know 13 is the minimum. As of now, how confident are you feeling about the slate ahead for the conference?
I don't know. I mean, if we had, if I had the answers or I had solutions, I'd write a book and we'd all read it and, move on down the road. But I don't think that anybody has any answers. Your team could be fine. Someone could be caught in contact tracing from another school. Some schools' medical people might not be comfortable with what your people are comfortable. Your people might not be comfortable with another school's medical professionals are saying. You get to bear. The league has a rule: if you have 7 and a coach, you should play. I mean, is that good? Is that bad? I mean, there has to be some sort of worry about the competition also, not just getting the games in. Worry about the competitiveness in the league and trying to get teams in the NCAA tournament. But I don't think anybody has any answers to these deals, and anybody that says they have an answer is speculating.
Coach, has there been any discussion about the date with Wichita State, makeup date?
There's been we've discussed a number of scenarios. I think that everything is still in motion. There's probably 3 or 4 different things we've discussed, but there's nothing concrete yet.
Coach, how have the guys handled the uncertainty of it, of all this stuff going on, and really kind of the first time it's hit you guys in season, or at least having to deal with some of the obstacles?
Well, I think one of the things you do is you almost have to view it unfortunately as injury. I mean, things happen in the season. Guys sprain ankles. Guys do this. Or guys do that. Now, usually when you sprain an ankle, they don't contact trace you, and that's a little bit different dynamic than usually happens. Usually, if that guy sprains his ankle, he's out, and everybody else is okay. But I think they've handled everything great, and guess all the time, we're not first line responders. We're out there doing things. We're trying to play some basketball games and keep these kids busy and try to give fans some entertainment. But it's not easy for anybody, but it's not easy for the general public that's not playing basketball. And for our guys, they get an opportunity. They get to, play, do something they love. And Are there some inconveniences? Yeah, but the inconveniences still allow them to do something that they want to do.
Coaches, I have to imagine this is a little bit of, for you, a bit of a tough situation as far as the last game you played is the next opponent on their home floor. Interesting dynamic, and as Stephen noted, their game last night was canceled, so I assume it's the same thing for them. I haven't looked at the schedule. Yeah, so several days in between, but that can't be something you're looking forward to. I don't know, maybe it is. What are your thoughts on the last opponent's the next opponent?
It's a little different, but I mean, we didn't have to use as much paper on the scouting report. Obviously, we had some familiarity, and I'm sure they've got the same thing. You go back and you look at, things that were successful against them, and the flip side of that, they're looking at things and they said, here's what East Carolina did, and we're saying things that Tulane did. Let's clean that up. Probably have a wrinkle or two because this is something that we thought was going to work, didn't work, or maybe change or tweak something because you figure that we're going back to something or they're going back to something. I do think from a scouting report, our guys have been pretty familiar. We've gone through some of their stuff the last couple of days after we found out we weren't playing Wichita. We focused on us for a couple of days, and then we were able to take a 15-minute segment earlier in the week and do some stuff on Tulane, which we usually wouldn't be able to do. So for them, there are some similarities to the way we defend and the way Central Florida does as far as some scheme things. So I'm sure they've got some tweaks, and after they knew they weren't playing Central Florida, they put their focus on us.
Joe, what's the biggest thing you kind of figure out after going through the first game with Tulane as you approach this next game? What's the biggest thing you kind of learned about them a little bit that you can kind of
I think that obviously they've got really good balance. Forbes can get shots. I went through the first half, they scored 25 points, and to tell you the truth, on 13 of them, I don't think we could have done anything any better. Now, one of them was an offensive rebound, which got them another possession, but I thought we defended really well, and they made some tough shots, which they're going to. Forbes, Watson, and Walker can all get shots. The kid Cross played well against us. They've got good balance. Obviously, they'll be a little bit more comfortable playing at home. With the exception of Memphis, they've been undefeated at home. So, there's some familiarity with us, and they have a pretty good feel for what we're trying to do also.
Coach, for clarity's sake, did you guys miss any practice due to this, or have y'all been able to pretty much move forward with that?
Well, we didn't really miss any practice. What we did was we had to tweak and do some individual stuff. The way it goes is we had even envisioned before anything came up, we were going to do it where we did in the preseason, where we had a player in a basket, a player and a coach and a manager on a basket. So that way, if there was any problems, until we got the PCR results back, we did antigen and PCR. That's why we did it individual, because if we had a problem, we wouldn't have to shut everybody down, which is the way it ended up. So we had planned on doing that. We talked with Dr. Armin and Nate, and that's what was our game plan. That's what we went with. And but we had to do another day of individuals as opposed to practicing, but then that didn't affect us much in our preparation for Wichita, because in the Wichita situation, we didn't play Wichita, so it sort of evened out almost.
So when you look at this situation, you were unable to play the other night, and 3 nights later you're able to play. How does that work? How does it work where you're able to play this next game?
We just do whatever it's based upon medical recommendations, to tell you the truth. And we go through all the numbers. Dr. Armin goes through all the numbers. He discusses what his comfort level is. They look at the number of players available. He does it. They consult with the other team's physicians to make sure that the other teams are aligned to what Dr. Armin believes as far as the safety for our guys. And I do think that's it's a little bit different, but he feels very comfortable. We feel comfortable. He's explaining to our guys, and I think our guys feel very comfortable.
Coach, when is the last test scheduled before you actually play at Tulane?
We tested this morning.
Is that the last one before the game?
No, we'll test tomorrow morning also. We'll test at 9 o'clock tomorrow also. So we've tested, by NCAA, we've tested more than the NCAA has mandated. So I think Dr. Armin and our medical staff feel very comfortable.
Coach Dooley, as far as this sort of second half of the season, I don't know how you're dividing it up, but after this holiday break, what will be some of the things as you go all conference here that you all need to do or continue to do and maybe need to improve in?
One thing I think we need to improve on is our rebounding. I don't think we've rebounded like we're capable of. We've given up, our numbers are good, but those can be deceptive. I think our defensive percentages have been good, but I do think we need to get where we're cleaning up more missed shots. Offensively, I do think that, we're not finishing at the rim like we need to. I think we're in the 250s and in 2-point field goal percentage. That needs to go up. We've missed a bunch of them around the rim, especially in transition. So we need to clean that up a little bit. I think our offense will continue to get a little bit better. Right now, I do think our defense is ahead of our offense, but I do think our offense is gaining on it. So I would say, obviously, a little bit, scoring better in the paint and then defensively cleaning up a lot of those misses. I think we've given up too many offensive rebounds.
Anything else for the good of the group? All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, guys.
See you guys.